And perhaps, for me, the greatest reason for God's existence lies in the recognition of moral beauty. We live in a day of moral outrage, right? Outrage over abuse with the Me Too movement. Outrage over systemic racism. Outrage over the mistreatment of police officers. But is abuse really wrong? I mean, if you look at the animal kingdom, it's kind of a staple of nature. Abuse is part of nature. Aren't we just animals? I hear people today in gender and homosexual studies appeal to behavior among certain animals and say, see, this backs the rightness of the behavior, although some secular scientists have also debunked some of those explanations. But brothers and sisters, if we look to the animal kingdom to justify morality, I mean, what do we do with spiders and hamsters that eat their own offspring? Is it morally permissible for me to fry up my children this afternoon? Now, of course, everybody would be in horror at such a statement. Kyle, everybody knows that's wrong. I don't need a religious book to tell me not to eat my children, not to be racist, and not to abuse. I agree with you, but that's precisely the problem. Why? Why don't you need a book to tell you right from wrong, even though the animal kingdom acts so differently than you? Why does every single person on this planet instinctively know moral truth and beauty? The Bible says this in Romans 2. It says, even non-Jews, the Gentiles who don't have God's written law, they show that they know His law when they instinctively obey it, even without having heard it. They demonstrate that God's law is written in their hearts, for their own conscience and thoughts either accuse them or tell them they are doing right. You see, there's a moral law written on the heart of every man, woman, and child, and it is the fingerprints of God. In fact, it's this same moral fingerprint that we believe in right and wrong that actually makes it so very hard for us to believe in God. Because we look at the world around us and say, I cannot believe in a good God who's all-powerful with all this evil in the world. But what you ought to first consider is this. You can't even believe in good and evil without God. You can't believe in right, wrong, beauty, morality. And the person who wants to eat their children has just as much moral authority as the person who wants to fight for equality. Morality must stand on a deeper foundation than simply limiting someone else's freedom of autonomy or doing what's in the best interest in the survival of the human species. And very quickly, if we eliminate God, we find something else. We've eliminated everything else that we hold dear as mankind. Friedrich Nietzsche was one of the only atheistic philosophers to live consistently with his worldview. In response to his friend informing him of a natural disaster in Java Island in Indonesia in 1883, Nietzsche said, 200,000 wiped out by a stroke. How magnificent. You see, morality is arbitrary. There is no truly right and wrong. So there's a choice, brothers and sisters. An eternal physical universe of no morality, no goodness, no authority, just star stuff returning to star stuff. Or there is an eternal creator of which the universe owes its purpose, allegiance, and obedience.